Hello, 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 and welcome to another RTAppetizer. Today we are facing a Cartusia FTW. That could stand for anything. I'll never know. In the Effulgence Guild, which is a great name in the global server, they go for Knackle, Rimurue, LHC, Aiden, and Dark Corvus. I go for Arwell, Rowana, LBC, not LCB. Wait, no, LCB, not LBC, as I was saying in the last video for like 10 minutes. That's my favorite unit, Lone Balana Crescent. Solitaria and Bryceria. They ban out the Bryceria, I ban out the Dark Corvus. Let's see how things go. So, Solitaria is probably going to be going first. Is the volume too loud? It's kind of loud. That should be fine. It's a resist Rimurue, so even if people pick Rimurue early in the draft, it will always be a resist Rimurue when I decide to bring Solitaria, because that's just how it works. They are going to go into Arwell here, try to defense break some people. Arwell and Solitaria have too much effect res for that to happen, but Lone Crescent is in danger. I'm going to go ahead and just stun the LHC, the Lone Heart Solana, for a little bit. S3 her. She's on Durandal, which is good to know. That will be important. Aiden is just going to raw throw an S3 into the defense broken Balana, but it does not kill, which is great for me, because now I can put up the revive buff. I am going to go into Aiden to try and get her to counter so that I can push my Balana up, but I actually just hit her, which, you know, it works, I guess. It's fine. Gonna go ahead into the Lionheart Sermia. Nope, I'm just gonna go into Aiden to get a counter. Balana decides to counterattack, or to dual attack as well. Aiden counters, doesn't hit anybody, so it's just a free heal. Landy is also in there. A lot happened in that. I'm just gonna keep going into Aiden because she's blind and can't really do anything at this point. Because Aiden, there's too many units in this game. We need to, like, downplay this into, like, 1v1s. There's too many units to remember their name. We get a salvo, which is another attack going into Aiden, who is now almost dead. And I'm still almost completely at full. Lionheart, gonna do a good chunk to everybody, mostly to Arwell because of Escort buff, which is great. The revive buff also has the added benefit of keeping my Arwell's surprise for a little bit longer. So they kill the Arwell, and she revives from the revive buff, which is important. Solitaria, I'm just going to go ahead and try and strip the speed buff from the LHC. I do not. I instead give it a speed down buff, which will immediately be cleansed, and then I take off the speed buff, which works for me. Balana, or Aiden, is almost dead, so there's no point in going into her, so I'm going to go into LHC, push her up. Arwell, if you could strip, that's great. We get a counter, which pushes everybody up, and procs play the animation, everybody. It procs of this, and then it procs of this, which pushes everybody up. It's just, everything is happening, which lets me do this, which procs a counter, which pushes up the Balana, because my Rowana's on Idol's Cheer, which is just getting my Balana to lap everyone constantly. S1 gets a counter. It's just gonna put. It's just, oh my god, everything. My Arwell still has not died yet, so she still has Holy Sack up. So they're going to S3, do a good amount of damage into everybody. Can't stun anybody though, and Balana's gonna counter kill the Landy, and hey, look, Arwell's back. I can't believe it. They do the laugh emote just because, I imagine, just because of the absurdity of everything that has happened in this match. Just there's skills flying back and forth just constantly. My Balan is taking like 8 turns in a row because pushing herself up with her S2 and also getting the Rowana CR push and also getting the Idols cheer push is actually an inane amount of cycling. But hey, this is just step 1 on our journey. And here we have a fight against Rokamaru, I think, from the their guild name is Seven Symphonimu. I believe Seven Symphonimu. Seven Symphonium, maybe. In the Japan server. They go for a Ravi, Rimurue. We're seeing a lot of Rimurue today. Bellion, Knackle, and LRK. I go for Lua because she was not banned out, and if anyone's going to be toxic, it's going to be me. Arwell, Stene, Solitaria, and what's his face? Mr. Man. Rylet. That's his name. They ban out Solitaria, I ban out Knackle. Let's jump into the fight. So, everybody is on everything. So there's nothing I can do. Someone's on barrier set. Everyone's on immunity. I am going to do nothing. And by do nothing, I mean just put speed buff up on everybody. I did notice the Rimurue is on Spear of Purification, but that's not going to be enough to outspeed my Arwell. Also telling me that it's on Spear of Purification means that I can stun it, because it's not a resistance Rimurue, because it's on a damage-based artifact. So, I am just going to stun it. Thankfully, Arwell does her job, and then S3 into it. Almost kill it. Not quite, though. And now everybody has a huge barrier, so this isn't going to do too much to anybody. Does a good amount to Arwell, but she's still mostly healthy. Rylet doesn't really need to do anything quite yet, so I'm just going to S1 into the Rimurue, take him out. They're going to start working on the Arwell, which is smart, get rid of the damage mitigation. Now I can try to sleep the Bellion. That fails, resists my 160 effectiveness sleep, but does not resist the defense buff, which is kind of nice. If Rylet could dodge this, things would be incredibly easy, but my life is never easy, so he does not dodge it. However, I do get made up for that by dual attacking with Stene into the Bellion, who is now immensely deceased, thanks to the defense break from Lua. They're just going to keep going into Arwell. I am going to make this Aravi's job a little bit more difficult by killing their LRK. So now they can only get back LRK, Bellion, or Rimurue. And I am just praying to God that they do not get back Bellion, because if they get back Bellion, I will just lose on the spot. Also, Arwell doesn't actually die because Holy Sack is so powerful. Rimurue comes back, and he is just going to throw a Hail Mary into Rylet, who has shown that he cannot dodge and will not dodge. And that does kill the Rylet defense break a lot of people. But defense breaking Stene with 2 single target units isn't really that bad. Just going to keep going in on the Rimurue. Get a S1. Don't hit the Rimurue, but kill him anyway. Hit the Aravi, which is great. I can now S3. Strip the attack buff at the very least. Put Beguile on it, poison, and that is the match. They give up. They cannot get to the Stene, and then I'll just lock her out of the game, which is great. But let's do one more. Shall we? Sally, who still sells by the seesaw. Our final battle will be against someone in the Asia server. They first picked Lua, because I didn't realize that Lua was not banned. I should have first picked her, but what are you going to do? Lua, Aiden, LHC, Rowana, and Bad Cat Armin. You love to see it. I go for LRK, Destina, Knackle, Rimurue, and Karina. Let's jump into things, see how it goes. So, Lua, thanks to Knackle's secondary buff with the crit resist, she cannot S3 to strip both of the buffs from the Rimmer, so she has to try and sleep him. Loses the 50-50. I'm going to go ahead, hit her. Don't gain anything, but that's fine. Because as you will see, this S3 only strips one buff, and it strips the anti-crit, which is great because my Rimurue still has immunity. And we just watched my Rylaic get absolutely devastated by a Rimurue, so I have the same thought. And there goes Aiden, and this is why Evasion is a joke. I think we would have been fine because I still had Knuckle and Karina into the Aiden, but I just found this so immensely funny. Evasion is so bad. Evasion is such a bad mechanic. It's so it's oh god, it's horrible. So apologies for that. I know the pain. I literally know the pain. It happened about 2 minutes ago. Thank you for watching this video, though. If you liked it, go ahead, hit the like button, the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you want more content from yours truly. Mwah. If you did not like the video, then it's probably because of what I just did about 10 seconds ago. And if you felt incredibly ambivalent about the entire thing, buy Stewart's Orange Cream Soda. It's legitimately very good.